but it's back to school time and we are going to make these fun little pencil boxes. I think they would be fantastic, absolutely fantastic for school teachers. Welcome them back to school or welcoming all the kids back to school. I chose this starting a new chapter tag on purpose. I just love this. All right, so that's what we're making today, and I'll tell you, I cannibalized, what are these, Easter pencils from clearance after Easter this year, or maybe even after Easter last year. So you really want to let your pencils determine your color palette. So as we do the project, think about flexibility, because depending on what kind of pencils you find at your Dollar Tree or wherever, you're going to need some flexibility in your color palette. So here is, just to get your creative juices flowing, here's a little creative inspiration, just letting your pencils guide your selection of colors. All right. When you're talking about colors, let's just take a look at that for just a minute. If you're looking at your pencils and you're trying to decide colors, here's a tip for you. When you're choosing your color palettes, you want to think of colors in terms of a gallon, a pint, and an ounce. All right. So if you look at my samples here, we've got a gallon of balmy blue, we've got a pint of pear pizzazz, and we've got an ounce of Mary Merlot. That's how you choose colors. So when you look at your pencils and you're trying to figure out how to adjust my project for your pencils, you just keep that in mind. Choose your colors, 3 colors, take them from your pencils, and then choose which one will be your most prominent, your supporting color, and then your accent color. Does that help you guys in taking this project and making it your own? All right. So now that we've talked about the pencils a little bit, how you can adjust my project to work with what you've got on hand or what you find in the Dollar Tree today or the Walmart or online, then let's get started with what you need to make these. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad that it's working for you guys. Okay, good. Let's start with the Stampin' Up! Products. We're going to take a look at Check You Out. This is the stamp set that we're featuring in the online classroom this month. I love this stamp set. It's a brand new photopolymer 16-piece stamp set, and it's available from the annual catalog. I'm using my well-written framelits dies because I can't be parted from this little heart. That's where that came from. The tag came from this new Ornate Frames dies. This is coming in the holiday catalog. So if you're a demonstrator, or if you join Stampin' Up! In August, you can order these dies. If you're not a demonstrator, or if you're not joining the Kitchenettes with us in the month of August, you have to wait till September 4th. It's not too long to wait, I promise, but look at that great die set. This tag is one of my favorites. It's quickly become one of my favorites. All right, so those are my stamps and dies. I got some punches over here. I'm using my Starburst punch, my 2-inch circle punch, and my tailored tag punch. All right, my Stampin' pads for this project. I've got crushed curry, balmy blue, and soft suede. I've got 4 pencils. Those are from Walmart. And I've got this crumb cake twine. It's kind of a thicker one. It's really nice. It's from the Nature's Twine collection. It's a collection with 4 colors in it. We're going to grab this crumb cake one out and hold on to that. All right, let's look at the consumables, our paper products right here. I cut that little heart from Mary Merlot, and I did that one already. Now, I have only a fresh sheet of Mary Merlot besides that, so let me just grab my Starburst punch, and we're going to punch that one. About 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch is really all you need for a scrap. There's our Mary Merlot parts. I've got a piece of balmy blue here. This is our base. This is 3.5 by 5.5. All right, so we're gonna start with our balmy blue in the portrait side, the short side, the 3.5 inch size. And then we're gonna score at 1/2, 3/4. We're gonna score at 2 and 2 1/4. So that's our long side. Now let's switch. We'll put the 5.5 inch side in and just one score here at 1/4 of an inch. You know what, I'm gonna put it this way because I think that this cut is just a little bit crooked and it's making my scoring difficult. All right, so there's our scoring. Super simple. Oh, you know what else I forgot to tell you about? I got scraps of Whisper White. We need that for our stamping. Speaking of, let's do a little stamping, should we? I've got my white scraps here. Let me get all of my ink pads. We'll do it all at once. Let's take this owl and we're gonna ink him balmy blue. And he's a solid stamp, so let's take our time and very lightly tap him into the pad repeatedly. Don't mash him in there. What did he ever do to you? And then we'll stamp him on the Whisper White scrap. Hi, Danae. Danae says she loves that there's a Stampin' Up logo on my sleeve. Why, thank you. We got this sweatshirt. We got this from Stampin' Up on the Alaska cruise. It's actually a jacket. It's really nice. Oh wait, we'll go to the back of that. Got a little scratch paper here because we just need his belly. So that's all we're gonna stamp. And then last time we want to change colors on him one more time. So let's clean him off, and then we're gonna take and ink just his face with crushed curry, and all we want is the beak. All right, we are done with our owl. All right, let's try that. 4th time's a charm. Haha. Perfection. All right, let's see what we've got left to stamp here. We need to do our box. So I'm going to put some scratch paper down and protect my pad, my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I'm going to arrange the books from Check You Out all on one stamp. Then we'll ink up in balmy blue, and we're going to stamp the background. Now, we're going to be extra careful where the books overlap our scores and make sure that we give the ink a little extra time to transfer. We'll have a better box if we do it that way. All right, I think I feel pretty good about that. Let's clear away the ink pads. I think we're done stamping entirely. Oh wait, no, we are not. I forgot the most important little detail. Let's find our little owl dude again. We're gonna put some glasses on this guy. I love this part of this stamp set. The little glasses can be used on the owl or the worm, and they're really just the cutest little detail. Haha, so cute. All right, now we're done stamping up so that it's to the tail end of the tag, because we're gonna embellish with that little heart that I showed you earlier. I like to tape my dies in place once I've got good placement, because no sense in taking time to line them up and then have them shift. I just use the leftover washi tapes after I finish a project. Are you guys excited about back to school? I can't decide if I'm excited about back to school or if I'm kind of sad. Summer went by so fast, and now the kids are going back. I think they're ready though. I'm ready. There's our little tag. I am going to do a little bit of fussy cutting here. So I'm going to grab my paper snips. We're going to do the belly of the owl. I cut it so that the soft suede makes like an outline around the crumb cake belly. See? And then we're gonna cut out his beak from this little crushed curry scrap of an image. And you wanna cut close, but not exactly on the crushed curry, because you don't want the balmy blue that's underneath to peek out, or since I'm going to use liquid glue, you don't want it to bleed out, because if you get a little liquid glue gush from underneath the beak, you could have like little blue glue residue. So the tiniest little white border, make it just a little bit bigger than the beak itself, and that'll completely cover. Got a multi-purpose liquid glue and the tiniest little dab. Let's go ahead and add these two pieces on before I lose something. I've had quite the week of losing things. It started Wednesday morning and it's just continued for the rest of the week. A little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on belly, and we'll get the crumb cake belly on there. So cute. I love that little owl. Doesn't it just scream back to school? And you guys know me. When I've got little bits everywhere, I like to just get them together, glue them down where they belong, make fewer pieces to misplace. So let's do the little Mary Merlot heart on our tag. Good. Set those two guys aside for a minute, and I'm going to get a bone folder. We're going to work all these scores. Now we're going to cut away our tabs at the bottom and this tiny little rectangle in the corner here. So snip that guy out. You can also just angle this. That way it disappears when you tape the box closed. Then you're going to take a tiny little cut and get rid of these score lines right here. I always say we liberate the tabs. Let's make them all free. All right, there they are. Now to close this box, your adhesive, I'm using my tear and tape, goes on the outside along the long tab, and it goes on the inside along this tab here. Okay, so here's your glue tab. From the left side of the box, when your glue tab is on the right, it's not the first big tab, it's the second one. That's the one that gets the tear and tape. Now this little 1/4 inch is close quarters. So if you have to, when you take the release paper off the tear and tape, you might have to fold over some excess here. And then take this one off. Simple, simple little box. Sometimes I feel bad when I bring things that are this simple to you guys. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like it? Or is it too obvious? Let me know your thoughts on this. As I was making it this morning, I'm like, I'm making them for back to school. So to make a good video, I hope. But maybe it's too obvious. What do you think? It's been around. Not the first person who's ever made a box for pencils. I hope you like my take on it though. All right, so we've adhered the sides. Now let's put the tabs in, bring them back, and then the front. And there we've got a box that nicely fits for standard pencils. Pretty cute, right? All right, now let's make it look like this, should we? Gina says, I like everything you make. Oh, thank you. That's reassuring. This one was, I don't know. I was thinking twice about, do I bring something so simple? All right, so we're going to cut out our owl with the 2-inch circle punch. Now, his little foot will be right against the edge, and his little ear diagonal will be right against the edge. So he's close. Watch careful before you punch. And then we've got our Mary Merlot scallop. and designer series paper here. Let's go ahead with the designer series paper and put a dovetail at the bottom. You can do this with scissors if you're more comfortable with it. I don't know, my tailored tag punch has been the way that I've done dovetails ever since I've gotten it. I really like it. Gina says she never would have thought about stamping our little owl buddy in blue. Gina, I am really letting the pencils lead the way on this one, and then good color balance. So that's kind of how he got to be blue, but it works, doesn't it? All right, so I just added a little bit of adhesive on the top half, and the bottom half of this banner, I'm kind of rolling it. I'm leaving it loose, free. Brandy says, simple is great too. Love it all. Thank you. Good. That helps me decide as I'm bringing things to you. Sometimes I feel like because maybe I'm a little jaded or something. Maybe I don't know. Because I've been doing it for so long, I've seen it all. I really have. There's not a lot that's new under the sun. And so sometimes I feel like, oh man, is my audience going to like this? And when I was done with it, I thought, oh, it's really cute. I hope so. And I went with it. So I'm glad that you're happy and that you like this little project. I'm just adding some dimensional to the back of the owl here. I've got the little edges, so I'm going to use them up. There's the owl, and we'll center it on our starburst. Now I'm going to grab 2 more mini dimensionals and adhere this guy to my box. But what I'm going to do is add my mini dimensionals on the box here. That way when I adhere the owl, I know that there's no adhesive hanging off the back here on the edges. It's whenever you've got a layer that's wider than the project, it's a good idea to put the dimensionals on the project instead of on the wide layer. Then you know for sure that you're not going to have adhesive sticking out. All right, can you believe it? We're almost done. I'm going to take my little crumb cake twine and wrap my box. And I'm going to go around this box twice. Right, and then I'm going to tie it off and cut. I need ribbon scissors for this one. You need a sharp scissor so you don't fray the end. Thread the tag onto the twine, which is easier said than done when you're watching yourself do it through a phone screen, but I'll get it. I always mean to go get those little dental flossers. All right, then we'll have a mini dimensional. Do you see how I placed that right in there? I'll liberate the sticky and then put my tag in it. And that way the tag stays off of the owl's face. It's where I want it. It's tied down tight. No control issues there, right? And then let's trim our tails. That's it. We did it. We're done. Check you out. Let's get them there. There we go. You guys have questions about the project, check you out, Stampin' Up, kitchenettes, anything stampy, you can reach out, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for joining me today. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.